In the next episode of the Do The Work podcast, I'm going to be talking about social occasions and how you can no longer dread the thought that they're going to ruin your progress. Social events, including work events, friends events, birthdays, all of that stuff can be a real challenge for people when it comes to their weight loss in terms of managing them and essentially worrying about what they're going to do to their progress. Now, what I find here is that most people use these events as, first of all, kind of an excuse to throw them off kilt, to get them in that kind of on it, off it mentality. And they'll use terms like, I'm falling off the wagon again because it's someone's birthday at the weekend. And then it's just going to completely, as I say, throw me off kilt. And that's because they're using a mindset that they have to have an all or nothing mindset. Things have to be perfect, otherwise what's the point? So if you can relate to this, then this episode is going to be useful for you. Because one thing that's for sure is that unless you're going to be a complete recluse, social events are going to happen. And they're going to happen at some point within a period where you're trying to lose weight, or inverted commas, trying to be good. So we have to accept that they are part of that process, part of that journey, rather than waiting for a period of time where there's just no social events. Because learning to navigate these as part of your journey is actually part of how you're going to understand how to lose weight long term and then sustainably essentially keep it off so that you can maintain the results that you've got, so that you're happier, healthier, etc. long term. So the first thing that needs to come to mind when it comes to these events is we have to approach it with positivity, and we have to approach it with the mindset that it's not going to completely ruin our progress. Now, there are things that we can do when approaching someone's birthday or a work night out or whatever, where we can manage our calories before it a little bit better, a little bit tighter. And a good metaphor for this is, you might give yourself a little bit more money to spend at weekend, and you might be a little bit more frugal and tighter during the week because you just don't spend as much money. And we can approach our calories in very much the same way. So if you're someone who monitors and tracks their calories and you're worried about the weekend, and typically you have, I'm just making these numbers up, but you work towards 1,600 calories usually each day, you could just pull some calories back in the days leading up. So if Saturday was the social event that was coming up, you could simply just work to 1,500 calories or 1,450 calories. I mean, I wouldn't recommend going much lower than that at any point anyway, but you get the point. You can pull back some calories on the days previous to give you a little bit of a buffer, in the same way that if you normally spent £20 a day Monday to Friday, you could just pull back and spend £10 a day Monday to Friday, and you have a little bit more money to spend at the weekend. So hopefully that metaphor can help you understand that you can just make some little tweaks and manipulations that go on through the week, so that when you do overindulge or consume a few more calories over the weekend at the inevitable social occasion, you've made a conscious effort to managing your calories a little bit better. You shouldn't be expected to, and you shouldn't be worried about tracking absolutely everything that you do on these social occasions. But you can go to that with a little bit more of a comfortable mindset that you've done everything you can basically to, as I say, manage that calorie balance over the course of the week. So you could also do other little things like add some extra movement in, add some extra exercise in, some steps or what have you, to increase that calorie expenditure basically before the social event. But what I find with clients is the most important thing isn't necessarily the event itself, it's what happens after the event. Because it isn't the event that ruins weeks or months of progress, it's what comes after. So if the Saturday evening that you have, where it's 2-3 course meal, a few drinks, goes a bit west and then results in a hangover the next day on a Sunday, and that results in McDonald's breakfast, no steps the following day, still feeling like shit on Monday, and so you don't go to the gym, struggle to get started, and then all of a sudden it's Tuesday and you're sort of thinking about writing that week off. That's when you struggle to manage what comes after the social occasion. So as well as prepping and planning before in terms of the calories that you're intaking, if you will, you need to make sure that everything's in place so that you can get back to normal routine, if you will, when the social occasion is finished. And what you'll find is that people that are most successful with regards to their weight loss, with regards to their health and fitness, just slip back into their normal routine as quick as possible. And that's often the difference between letting it throw you completely off kilt and maintaining the progress and getting straight back to it after that. And the final thing I want to share with you here, and this for me is, I'm going to say this last because this is the biggest point, and again, this is something that I share with clients all the time. The reason that you're on this health and fitness journey, the reason that you want to lose some weight, get healthier, and ultimately feel better about yourself, feel more confident, was because you didn't feel comfortable in social occasions in terms of what you wore. You just didn't want to go out. You didn't want to be around people before you made these changes. And so if the goal was to feel better in them situations, then we should be able to go out and enjoy them occasions, because that's exactly why we started this health and fitness journey. So we shouldn't see this as a off-plan thing or as something that we shouldn't do or as something that is inherently bad. We should see this as something that we go to, we enjoy the fact that we feel more comfortable in our skin around our friends. We want to be in photos and all of that stuff. And then we should enjoy the fact that we have good routines set up to just slip back into normal routines afterwards. Whereas maybe there's other people at the party or whatever who are still feeling rubbish by Monday, Tuesday, because they've continued the downward trajectory that started, if you will, with the bad habits that maybe crept in on hangover day or what have you. But instead, you use your knowledge of getting out and getting some fresh air and doing some steps and feeling good on the Sunday, going back to the gym on Monday, and then everything just flowed back into that normal state. So we have to remember that these social occasions essentially are the exact moments in which we train for, the exact moments in which we want to feel good for and feel happy and healthier around our friends and family members. So I'll leave you with this. The social occasions really are everything that we do it for. And so you should go to that and enjoy them and just simply slip back into normal routine after that. Thanks for tuning in for today's episode. I hope you found that useful and valuable. If you'd like to hear more from us, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next episode.